I was born in Albania just after the fall of communism. Very interesting times in this, very isolated country, sort of similar to North Korea today. And I bring that up because it was, I think, very central to sort of my uh, education and focus in math and sciences, because there was a lot of focus on math and physics in post-communist Albania, and the humanities like history and sociology and these type of topics, they were a bit questionable. Like the source of information and truthfulness was hard. It was ambiguous. So anyway, I got very interested in math and sciences, and that's what I pursued relentlessly until still working fundamentally in mathematics. And over time, my interests grew more from the theoretical space into actually building things and figuring out how to apply that knowledge to build stuff. And I studied mechanical engineering, and went on to work in aerospace as an engineer, and then joined Tesla shortly after, where I spent a few years. Initially, I joined to work on Model S dual motor. And then I went on to Model X from the early days of the initial design, and eventually led the whole program to launch. And this is when I got very interested in applications of AI, specifically with autopilot. And so I started thinking more and more about different applications of AI. Okay, what happens when you're using AI and computer vision in a different domain, instead of autopilot? And after Tesla, I went on to work on augmented reality and virtual reality, because I just wanted to get experience with different domains. And I thought at the time that it was the right time to actually work on spatial computing. Obviously, in retrospect, too early back then. But anyways, I learned a lot about the limitations of pushing this technology to the practicality of using it every day. And at this point, I started thinking more about what happens if you just focus on the generality, like forget the competence in different domains and just focus on generality. And there were two places at the time that were laser focused on this issue, and OpenAI and DeepMind. And I was very drawn to OpenAI because of its mission, and I felt like there's not going to be a more important technology that we all build than AGI. Back then, I certainly did not have the same conviction about it as I do now. But I thought that fundamentally, if you're building intelligence, it is such a core unit in the universe that it affects everything. And so, what else is there to do more inspiring than elevate and increase collective intelligence of humanity?